And I enjoyed, first of all, the visit we had in my office, and I'll make mine a lot quicker than most of them. I do apologize. The reason for all of us being late is that in my case, we have our Oklahoma Attorney General has been nominated to be the director of the EPA, and I have more than just a casual interest in that. And in fact, the last four of the members here are late because they're up at that hearing. So this is not the way it should be, I suppose, but it's the best we can do. Let me just mention one thing. Way back when NAFTA was passed, in our delegation of 7 members from Oklahoma, I was the only one who voted against it. And I would just like to be drawn into the loop as you make progress on changes you may want to make, so that we'll be aware of that and can perhaps participate in a small way.
Actually, I believe there is a consultative process provided in the TPA regulations, and that therefore there will be at least that level of consultation.
Good. I talked to you also about Taiwan being the close friend and ally of the United States and our 9th largest trading partner. That's very significant. And we could further strengthen the U.S.-Taiwan relationship by engaging in direct bilateral trade agreements. Now, these negotiations would need to address Taiwan's current ban on importing pork containing ractopamine, a food additive. The chairman of this committee has talked about, is concerned about some of the things that we want to do with Taiwan. So I would say, as Secretary, would you just consider prioritizing the United States trade relationship with Taiwan and consider laying the groundwork for a direct bilateral negotiations?
Well, as you know, that's a very complex issue.
I know it is.
Because of the one China, two China policies. So I think that there we would need some guidance from the president as to what direction he wishes to go.
And that's the very reason I worded it the way I did. Just consider. As I mentioned in my office, you were kind enough to give me quite a bit of time. I've had a very close relationship with Africa. I've actually made 144 African country visits. I am concerned about Africa and our lack of a good relationship that we've had historically. Now, when we did our NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, I put an amendment on there that we titled the African Free Trade Initiative Act. That was passed. That is now a part of the bill that is going to take care of our NDAA needs for the next year. Now, it's a step in the right direction to partner and secure deeper ties with a fast-growing economy such as that in sub-Saharan Africa. There are nations eager to engage in direct bilateral negotiations on trade with the United States, and I just would hope that you would work with me to focus U.S. trade efforts in Africa.
It's almost impossible to imagine ignoring such a large continent with such rapid growth to it, with such strategic importance and potentially such economic importance. So clearly there's a role for us to play with Africa. And I think one of the concerns that we should all share is that China has been all over the map in Africa, building high schools, building soccer playing fields, doing all kinds of things, and gobbling up natural resources as well. Nature abhors a vacuum. And to the degree we've let a vacuum be created there, there's a countervailing force that's going to fill it, and that's not us.
That is a beautiful response. I appreciate that very much. I might add, China doesn't even use their labor when they're in these projects. So anyway, I look forward to supporting your confirmation, and thank you very much for being willing to do it.